up, what up, what up? It's your boy. This is Oshin. This is Oshin's View. You already know I'm in the building. Willie Negro on the boards.
What up, what up, what up, what up, people?
I got to take a sip before we get into it. And the way I'm feeling, this should be some cognac or some type of vodka or something.
Nigga don't even drink.
That's why it makes it worse for the simple fact that some of the things I just see and I hear about, I'm like, this can't be reality. I'm trying to really get away from trying to say, you know, what's wrong with chicks and how they talk, because dudes, first off, the word on the street is us men aren't holding other men accountability for the BS that they do. I think I kind of do to a degree, but I kind of look at it like people's stories on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and like just people's social media's presence. I'm a man, so I have a lot of women friends, so I see a lot of women in the stories.
Yeah.
So I assume that women have men all throughout their stories, like putting up stuff, because that's what they see. Okay. Now, granted, women are a little different, so they'll probably have a good amount of women as well, too. Because, you know, dudes aren't just making, well, I know the minute I see a dude make a story and he's just, once he's doing all that, yeah, that's going to be the time I'm going to have more space on my friends list or whatever. So, I was looking at something. This chick was talking about how she met a guy on one of these dating apps and they wound up vibing and everything. And she was talking about some furniture that she needed put together because she said she needed a handyman. So he was like, I guess Duke was like, I know how to put stuff together or whatever. Yeah. And we'll discuss the payment and whatever. They had agreed on a number. She said she don't remember.
Nah. Let's be clear.
Right.
In the story, she offered to pay him. Like he said, I'll come put it together.
For free.
He didn't specify. He didn't ask for money. She said because they didn't know each other, she was interested in him, but they didn't know, and there wasn't no expectation. So she was like, I'll pay you X amount of dollars. I can sell it to you when you're done.
Okay. Thank you. So once again, he says he doesn't ask for money. She offers because the offer was because, like she said, she didn't want to feel like obligated if he puts it together and she doesn't like him, they're not vibing. Right. It could just be transactional. So he comes through, puts it together, but they're vibing, they're talking and everything else or whatever. They spend a little time together. Nothing happens, clearly according to her, but they spend time together, they talking. She says she ordered some lunch, they ate, everything is cool. So he says he wants to see her again. She agrees. After that, he's walking out, he's like, yo, Cole, get to that dumpster. Now, he didn't say that, but he basically was like, yo, I'm going to text you my Zelle information. So she's like, she's taken aback because she's like, well, if we're going to date, why would you want to take the money? She's not saying this to him. She's saying this to herself, and she's thinking about everything. So the next day comes, or whatever, she zells him the money. She pays him. But now he's like, well, what's up? You know, let's go hang out or whatever, yada, yada, yada. But she kind of ghosts him and pretty much was like, yo, I thought it was tacky that you asked for the money after we already decided we're going to date, and then you actually accepted it. Now, I'm pretty sure he texts back some other stuff, probably explaining why, but it probably wasn't up to her specifications, and she ghosted him. And then that was it for it. Right. So she said she asked her cousin, who was a female, was like, yo, you already agreed to pay. So what's the problem? But she was just still like, oh, I just didn't think that was right. This is what I'm going to unpack. First off, you don't know by giving that dude the money, because this is the first thing I thought of. If you're in a relationship with somebody, and I know they aren't, but most times when you're in a relationship, your girlfriend, your wife gives you money or does something, chances are you spend that money on them anyway. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Like that. Like, let's just be honest. Chances are you wind up spending it on them anyway. Not because you're trying to come up. It's just like, yo, here, don't worry about it. But y'all, she has entitlement issues for the simple fact that she's sitting up there wanting this dude to be super chivalrous about monies that she offered to give. That's the part that's getting me. When the man said, I can do it for nothing, but he was trying to, first off, he was clearly already attracted to you. So he was already interested in dating you anyway. Mm-hmm. He was just trying not to blow it. What she messed up with was this. When they, I guess, matched and everything, and they spoke, he was already interested. So that's why he offered to do it for nothing. She overthought that whole process and put money to the forefront. Talk about, oh, just in case I don't like him. That was all on you. That was entitlement. I'm not even going to say at its highest point, but at a stupid point. Yeah. Because don't let the man pull the chair out for you to sit and then you get upset when he does it. Mm. Women do that a lot. Yeah. They want chivalrous men. They want gentlemen. They want dudes to, proverbially put their coat over the puddle. Mm-hmm. But then when they do it, I don't want you thinking I owe you nothing. Yeah. Come on.
I just think it's a lot. First, they met on a dating app. That's important. Mm-hmm. Because they were talking, and then she said she needed something. Mm. It wasn't, yo, let's go out or let's hang out. It was like, yo, I just moved around here. I need somebody to put some stuff together for me. Do you know anybody? Mm-hmm. He said, well, I could do it. Yep. Cool. Well, do you know anybody means that she was going to pay somebody anyway to do it. Yep. You know what I mean? Yep. So I think she had the right idea. I don't really know this guy. I don't know what we're going to vibe like in person. So I'm going to offer to pay him. I think her following through with paying him is the right idea because obviously he wasn't the guy for her. But I wouldn't have asked for the money if I had a connection with her. That's me. I would have just been like, nah, you good. I just would like to see you again. If I felt like we was vibing. But I'm gonna be honest. She can't assume what he was feeling. They might have been vibing. He might have been like, I can hang out with her again, I guess. But this money is more important. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not that. So she actually had the right idea. Like, yeah, let me pay him. Like, he doing something for me. He doing a service for me. Let me pay him because I don't know this man. You see what I'm saying? He don't know you.
But why take the stance? I hear what you're saying. Yeah. I feel you bailed her out, but this is the thing.
I don't think I bailed her out.
No, I'm gonna tell you why I think you bailed her out though. Not fully. Because you explained it a little better than what she actually performed it as. Because my thing is this. The man was already trying to do something for you. That's my issue. He was already trying to do something for you because he's interested. He didn't want anything because afterwards he told her, I still want to see you. Right. This man could have took her to Ruth Chris or something the next day because I don't think she paid him too much enough. The amount is not important. Right. What I'm saying is this. The man probably was like, yo, I'm vibing with her. I'm with her. And he was like, fine, she wants to feel that I did a service for her, then I did the service. Right. I only took it because you kept pushing on me that I did a service for you. Because you wouldn't allow me to just do it for you on the arm.
So this is what I'm saying. I'm not bailing her out. I'm saying if I was him, I would have approached it different. But I don't think she should feel any type of way that he took this money. I just don't understand that part of it. I don't understand if I said I'm going to do something and now I'm held to do it, that means that person is any less of a person, like you, any less of a man. You see what I'm saying? Like, yo, he could have needed that money. Like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, or he could have just seen if you was a stand-up person. Like, yo, you said you was going to do this, then do it. You see what I'm saying? Or, like I said, I don't know this lady. We are not in relationship. We are not in relation. Anything. You see what I did something for her. She offered to pay me. I would like to get paid. Cool. I think that is a quality in a person that I'm dealing with that I would like. Hey, man, I did something for you. I need to get paid on what we agreed on. That sounds like a stand-up gentleman to me. You see what I'm saying? I don't understand why, and you put a label on it. You called it entitlement, but I don't understand why that's a problem or a deal breaker when this man who is a stranger who you offered to do to pay for a service actually asked to get paid for the service that he's done. How was that a deal breaker for you? Because she said that she didn't talk to him again because of that. She said she was actually feeling him until he said, okay, I would like this money. I wish it was somebody here that could explain that to me. I just don't understand.
Well, since it's not, I'm going to explain it. That's it. This is my thing. To keep talking about the dating pool has pee in it.
What does that mean?
I know it's a metaphor for tainted.
Okay.
It's a metaphor for tainted. No guy says that. That's a woman's term.
That's such a woman thing to say, yes. Yo. It's so funny.
But this is the thing. It might be a little truth to it. But this is my thing. This is my thing. I think some of y'all, once you saw it was pee in this dating pool, I believe y'all stood over there too and said, well, fine, I guess this is where people pee at. And decided to pee in it yourself too.
We're going to have to change the metaphor. We're going to have to change the metaphor.
The metaphor is important because they started it. The dating pool has pee in it. They started that.
Crazy though.
Me.
All right.
It ain't me. I personally am disgusted by it, but I'm just saying, just for enough for people to follow up, the dating pool has pee in it. Because I don't want to say the other thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So the number two. So it was just like, yo, my thing is this. But yet, you keep going over there, but when it's fresh, when it's a whole another part of dating over here with guys that still really want to be gentlemen and do things like, yo, that's like being out and buying a drink for a young lady.
Yeah.
And she's like, I hear women all the time, yo, now he's going to be around me the whole time. Now I get it. I've seen it. I've seen dudes buy a chick a drink and not leave them alone after maybe they've got the phone number or the vibe was there. And it's one of those vibes like, we'll talk a little later, but thank you. I've been on that side. Not going to lie. Bought a drink? Oh, you owe me at least a dance. This is what I'm thinking in my mind. Now, that's mixed with a little entitlement too, but that's just for me. Yeah. But at the same time, there's been times, here, take this drink, and the chick might be like, well, so what's up? They trying to be over talk. I'm looking like, nah, you good. Keep going party with your homegirls and all that. I'll talk to you later. We'll be all right. Yeah. Because you got to understand how to play that thing. But you made a comment before we were on air talking about the 20% of the good men, because I just found out today 80% of men are trash out here. I think that number's ridiculous, but the problem is this.
It's the opposite. It's that 80% of women, usually youthful women, want the same 20% of men. So if you're only looking at that small pool, and half of those men, because they're desirable, are going to do whatever they want to do, then you will probably think that 80% of men ain't nothing. You see what I'm saying? But it's just that y'all want the same man, and when you want the same man, then that man has options. So he doesn't have to settle. You know what I mean? So that's the problem. You need to look at the other men, and they want the same 20% for different reasons. You see what I'm saying? handsome, tall, have money, charismatic, whatever reason they want the same man for. But it's a lot of good dudes out here. It's a lot of good dudes out here that'll treat you right, that'll worship the ground that you walk on. But the problem is you don't want him.
You know why they don't want him?
Why?
I'm going to tell you why they don't want the man that would worship and want to be with them and stuff. Because they hide behind, I like who I like. I want who I want. The heart wants who he wants. First off, your heart ain't got nothing to do with it. You talking about everything on the surface from the beginning. Like you said, tall, medium built, or largely built. Got 6 figures. You know what I'm saying? This is all creme de la creme shit. Like you said, they got those dudes got options. First off, I believe dudes, period, just got options. Not just the creme de la creme. I think dudes at every level have options. Now, granted, it's not options to the point of where it's like, well, I can't be in certain circles or whatever. But they have options to the point where it's like, okay, bet. I don't really think, I've never really done well with hood chicks. Be honest. Okay. I grew up in the hood. I never really did well with hood chicks. Because it wasn't because I thought I was above them or not. But they saw it was something that they was used to dealing with that I didn't have. And that used to cause a lot of, I'm not going to say confusion amongst myself, but more so it definitely jump-started phases that I would go through. Because if the good-looking chick from your block and all our friends, the fly girls, you know, we dating ourselves, all the good-looking chicks, but they like them dudes over there. The dudes that's either hustling, they in streets, they beating people up, whatever.
Right.
That's not to say, because you know, a lot of them dudes would be, my friend Yvonne would laugh at me because I used to say that, I guess they would be considered ruggedly handsome. You know what I'm saying? Because they're ruggedly handsome or whatever. For whatever reason, it's just something about them. That just something about them was something that I didn't have.
Right.
And no matter what I tried to do to act like it, I dressed the part. I tried to act in the part.
I like where you're going with this.
But it just didn't work. And that was a certain group of females, of young women and everything that I had to realize, if I have to be that, then I'm never going to be able to deal with those women.
Right.
Go ahead.
So my question to you is, at what age did you realize that you not that and you couldn't be that? At what age did you realize that?
When I was 16, I didn't know who I was, but I knew what I wasn't.
Right.
I knew what I wasn't. Like, I've mentioned this before in personal conversations, and I think maybe on the air too. When I was 16, that was my breaking point in terms of phases. Right. I didn't go through any more phases after that. And I'm gonna be perfectly honest, like I did. Like I wasn't trying to be the tough guy. I wasn't trying to be too cool for school. I wasn't trying to be the street dude. I'm always a hood dude.
Right.
But I wasn't the street dude. None of that. Because I started dealing with different women, young women at the time. And it was like, wait a minute. I realized 2 things. I realized one thing, 3 words technically. I am enough. Once I realized that being myself was enough, it changed my whole perception on how I was going to carry myself when it came to the opposite sex. Because that was pivotal in my life, because I no longer had to act a certain way. Like, yo, you're funny. You're witty in your own way. You're charming in your own way. You don't have to be this person. And when I've discovered that, my confidence rose too. Because the thing about it was, I was in and out with my confidence because I'm sorry, confidence is all rooted in something. Right. I don't care what you can't just tell yourself I'm confident. It doesn't work like that. Because if that was the case, everybody would be super confident. It's rooted in something. Once I realized you're smart, you're handsome, looking at yourself, talking to yourself in the mirror, you're handsome, you have things to offer, being yourself is enough to get the girls that you like, because those will be the same ones that will actually like you back.
You said something.
I was great.
You said to get the girls that you like, but once you realize that these girls over here, they just like those type of guys, and I'm not that, what did you do about that?
Once I realized that I was never going to be the guy that group liked, what I did was I understood how to portray it enough to get what I want. And by get what I want, I mean sex.
Okay.
We're being honest. I knew what it took to get those kind of girls.
Right.
Now, the thing about it was this. Now, somebody that's looking at this is going to say, oh, so you started fronting. To a degree.
Yes. Everybody fronts to a degree.
Because the whole thing was this. I understood, to answer your question fully, I understood what they were into and how to maneuver my way through that. Because it had a short span. Because I got to the point where I was like, you got 2 nights to hit this chick. Because if it don't, because I'm not keeping up with that facade, so to speak, forever. I'm not doing it forever. So when I got to the point where I would like have nice vehicles and jewelry and things like that, okay, I'm going to give you the perception of what you want for the night. That's why I became somebody that was into one night stands a lot. Not that I was going for one night stands, but it was like, look here, this is what you want, being a non-drinker. People popping bottles and stuff. I get love a lot of places. So people pass me bottles and stuff. I get the bottles. I'm walking through the club like Rick James. Ladies, who's thirsty, who wants to drink up?
So basically, when you understood that they wasn't going to be with you, you understood that they are temporary and I'm not going to be with them, right? They are off the table for a relationship. I gotta have sex with them, but they are off the table for a relationship. You see what I'm saying? So what do you do about relationships?
What do I do about relationships? I flip the switch. I go back to being who I am. Why? Because I'm enough.
Yeah.
I used to always say, being at the time before I realized that I was enough and realizing what I wasn't, I used to always say, being who I am will get me a girlfriend, but it will never get me laid. I used to always say that. And I used to be like, and people used to be like, nah, what do you mean? If you got a girlfriend, you get laid? No. Because when you this young, pre-teen and teen, horny kid, your hormones are going all over the place. You definitely got sex on the brain. And I used to always say, how I am will get me a wife or a girlfriend, but it won't get me laid. Because you're going to get the real me. And maybe there was a point in me with myself that I didn't believe being the real me, because it was a point I didn't believe being the real me that women would be attracted to it. Like that. It takes time. It takes phases and everything. And when you that young, you didn't realize, I think the cheat code for myself was I had a lot of female friends. So not my vice, I'm trying to find the word, but I was always fortunate enough to have a female friend that I could talk to. So that was big to me. So I didn't need a girlfriend to have these kind of conversations. I had female friends that I could confide in and have these kind of open conversations and pick their brains about certain things that women like and don't like and what kind of girls like what, things like that. So I was able, to take things from there and kind of put it into my quote unquote game. Because, we call it a game, but it's really not a game when you're dealing with people's hearts and emotions and their feelings and stuff. Everybody, I tell my students and everything, I say, guess what? you're going to break somebody's heart, and you're going to have your heart broken. That's the monopoly that none of us have. We don't have a monopoly on pain whatsoever.
And I ask you that because as men, we are the ones typically on the pursuit. You see what I'm saying? So we understand at a very young age which type of women want to deal with us and which type of women don't want to deal with us and what are the reasons. You see what I'm saying? And we have to navigate through that. We have to either front so we can, like you said, like, hey, get some sex with some women, or we have to direct our attention from these women to these women that will give me the time of day, and they still look good and they still are beautiful, but they just not the chicks that don't want me. You see what I'm saying? I think oftentimes because women are not the conquests, the ones that are pursuing, I think that they get stuck on the ones that don't necessarily want to be with them. You know what I mean? Because we have to pursue, and we are, for lack of better, just horny. We gravitate towards people who gravitate towards us, and then we choose from the top of that list. You see what I'm saying? As you grow, as you change, people become more attracted to you because you acquire more confidence, you acquire more things, you acquire more accomplishments. You know what I mean? You become more accomplished, and then you get, like you said, through accomplishments, you get confidence. You see what I'm saying? Confidence is just not something that you just, I'm just confident. No, I did some things. I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm all right. So a couple chicks told me I was handsome. You see what I'm saying? Like, yo, I got that job. Now I got a little bread in my pocket. I got a car. You get a little, that breeds confidence. You know what I mean? Other thing that breeds confidence is, hey, I had some success with some women. I had sex with a few women. Now I know I can. You see what I'm saying? But I think a lot of times men have to be realistic about where they stand in the order. You see what I'm saying? They like hood dudes. These dudes gonna get them women. They like men with money. Okay, these dudes gonna get those women. My lane is right here. I know where my lane is. I can choose from this group right here until I get some money. I'll never be a hood dude. You see what I'm saying? So I can choose from this. Then when I get some money, then that opens up this whole pool and that pool. You see what I'm saying? But I think women a lot of times, because men are always pursuing them, they get a little jaded in where they stand in the order. So they think that they are more than what they are. Men have to be a little bit more realistic, but because women always have a man on any level pursuing them, then they get to build their confidence higher than what their level of attraction may be.
It's a good thing you brought that up, because the whole thing is this. The way you broke it down with the hood chicks over here, and hood doesn't necessarily mean uneducated.
Right.
Not that you're doing your thing, because I know quite a few women that, as hood as they come Monday, it's yes ma'am, such and such. They super professional, they handle their business, and they making money. Yeah. But they like who they like. They like who they like. I know a few of those women that are making six figures, and they was like, yeah, I like dudes that's kind of struggling and stuff, because I like projects. Like
that sounds
crazy to me. But
like a nigga to struggle a little bit.
No,
the nigga gotta like have a little struggle on.
No, they saying they liking hood dudes. This is my thing. I always say this because I try not to make it sound like somebody's jealous of this. No. It's hood dudes and it's street dudes.
Right.
Those are two totally different dudes. Because a woman will see a dude, show them a gun, and be like, yeah, he's a street dude.
Yeah.
I had to tell somebody that the other day. They was like, he walks around with a gun, such and such. I said, let me tell you something about guns. I know a lot of people with guns. Like a lot of people with guns.
Me too.
I said, I know a handful of killers. And I'm not talking about, somebody's breaking in my house. That's protection. That's protect. I would expect any man that's about anything. You come to my house, you put the kids up. As soon as this dude walk up the steps, I'm airing them out. That's it. I get that. That's your back against the wall. We talking killers are, don't play with them. You know what I'm saying? Because it can go down. Forget a fight. This is where it's going. Most people that own guns, it's really to back people off them, if it ever comes to that. Because killers, they either got it on them or they go to get it. And once they go get it, that's what it is. So I'm saying, I say all that to say, a woman to put a dude that's really just a hood dude in the street dude category and then get him in the world of trouble because he's giving them the facade. He's giving her the facade that he's something that he's really not.
Yeah.
She might run out here and start running her mouth. And a lot of women say dudes don't, they always say, we always got something negative to say about the next dude. And I'm looking like, not all the times, because I believe the same way women see certain women and they be like, you messing with her, I don't really like her for you. Because they can see something. I don't think women believe that when it comes to us. When we try to tell them, like, yo, you messing with this dude? They just take it as we hating. Be like, no, we're giving you forewarning on, yo, this dude is really not a stand-up dude, or really, he's not really what he's portraying to be.
Not me. I'm not giving nobody warning. I'm like, oh, you mess with him? Oh, all right. Cool.
Not if you cool with the chick.
Even if I'm cool with the chick, it ain't I ain't got it in me. Like, look, I have had chicks come up to me like, yo, I heard, is he? And I'll be like, hey man, he cool. Like, you like him?
Well, that's something different.
Yo,
I'm not talking about that kind of forward. My cousin just introduced me to her friend that clearly they've been dealing. She just told me they've been dealing for like 2 years.
Right.
When I went up to Duke, she introduced, I hugged her first. I went up to Duke, put my hand out. He shook my hand and stuff, but it wasn't a firm grip. It was kind of loose.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, come to find out, she was like, yeah, he think you one of the dudes I was talking to. I'm like, can you clearly told him our mothers are sisters. Like, what is he talking about? So I didn't feel his vibe.
Right.
And I was like, I was like, how serious you are with this dude? She's like, nah, I've been dealing with him for like 2 years. Now, once she said that, I kind of left it alone because I'm looking like, I'm not going to undo something in 5 minutes that you've been dealing with for 2 years. So she just knows not to bring him around me. Like, if we going to hang out, don't be like, no, don't bring him like that. So that's what, when you were talking about that kind of stuff, because I'm not going to make it my business to keep trying to say, don't mess with him. I'm not going to do that. Because maybe that's just who he is. And I'm not saying how you are, but your relationship is your relationship.
Right.
So I'm kind of like, well, go ahead. But I'm never going to go up to a chick too to agree with you. Because I've had women come up to me like, yo, what about this person? I'm like, nah, he cool. He chill like that. Right. Because I'm not going to be the reason why you don't deal with them this way on the third. But there has been times where somebody that I really care about, friend, never did nothing with nothing. Right. I be like, yo, watch this nigga. Like, because, and somebody's gonna probably say you was a hater, this, that, and the third, whatever. No, the guys that I said this for, their character was so shaky and they had stuff with them that I was like, it was more so like, yo, be careful around this dude. Because his present is checkered. Not his past, his present is checkered. Like he's doing stuff, he's doing funny stuff now. I give somebody a pass for the past because you never really know where the person was at that point in their life. But when your present is checkered and you moving funny in the presence, right? I'm like, be careful. You can't be around this dude. Speaking of the past, Suki with the good coochie is at it again. But she had a breaking point. She was on an episode, I wanted to believe it was Love and Hip Hop. I guess that's what she's on. Yeah. And she's having a hard times. I guess she's saying how people won't let her forget her past or how wild she was and things she did. She's just trying to move forward and be better. On one hand, I feel for her because she's right. She should get a chance to live in her present and, you know, the things she might have did in the past, her transgressions.
Right.
That's my big word for the day. So her transgressions and everything. But at the same time, I got to give a little pushback because your track record is a track record for a reason. And you don't always get to wipe the slate clean.
Right.
Not just her, all of us.
Right.
So I want to make that clear. It's not about a man, not about a woman. We all have to pay for things we might have done in the past that might have been a little iffy. Mm-hmm. Because if somebody knows us for that, that's who we are to them. Even 10, 15, 20 years 100%. Go by. And my thing is this, because I know you want to jump in. Mm-hmm. This is my thing. You're kind of still living in that past now because it's becoming financially, it's being accepted now for you. You've made a platform built on this behavior. Mm-hmm. You can't really jump rope in and out to be like, well, this is just for the bag. I'm really not like this. Everybody compromises at some point in Hollywood, a lot, and we get it. But at the same time, when you do certain things and your platform is built on that thing, which way do you want us to take it? Because that's how you're feeding yourself right now.
So when you have built your career on being audacious, salacious, and sensational, like your name is Suki with the good coochie. Like this is not like your previous name. This your name now. Like you say that now. Like, so you have recent songs where you rapping about all kinds of crazy, sexual, flirtatious, like just crazy stuff. You know what I mean? You have a song out right now where you just repeat, I be eating his ass. That mixed with you have video footage on the internet of you doing said act. Like you have video footage on the internet of you having sex with then your boyfriend. You see what I'm saying? This is part of the way that that you have come to fame. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? To me, it sounds like selling your soul to the devil and wanting it back. That's what it sounds like to me when she's crying and mad that people won't get past her past. Well, you have done nothing to try to get past your own past. You see what I'm saying? You have not really changed your name, your ways. You was just on a red carpet on the ground twerking. On a red carpet. Like we were just talking about this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So like, what past are you? This is the present. Like you say, you got a checkered present.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard for me to take that serious when you still are using this to make money or to monetize it.
Because it's not a shtick. It's not a shtick if you're continuously doing it. No, right. It is a shtick because you are continuously using it. And it's not like you're putting out other music.
But it's believable because we see it.
Yes.
We've seen you doing these things on the internet. We've seen your video when people are naked in your video. It's not like provocative. No, it's pornographic. Mm-hmm. Like they're naked.
Her and Sexy Red. Mm-hmm. She has literally she has a joint with the baby. It's not her song. It's the baby song. I don't dance with the lady. To make the way other chicks put their hands on their knees. She has a line in that song that literally says, I ain't no freak chick, I'm a hoe.
Yes.
Okay. In the words of the great Maya Angelou, you're a hoe? We believe you. We believe you. You don't have to convince me anymore. You said it. You're a hoe. Word. You a hoe.
Stand on it.
I believe. Stand on it.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing, though. women take women empowerment to the extreme. A lot of women get behind things in the sake of womanhood.
Right.
Now I get it. I understand why women stick together. It's a man's world. They got to stick together. They have to bond. So I'm with that. I don't fight against that. But all this Suki with the good coochie, the sexy reds of the world, the Ice Spices, this is what you're doing to get your fame and your money. And guess what? You are getting said fame and said money. Now, I don't believe it's at the super level that it's worth it for, because I feel a lot of them are on 10 minutes of their 15. And my thing is this. You're going to monetize, like you said, you're going to monetize. I'm going to sit up here. We're going to look like the haters. Let them do their thing. But why are you crying about it? Because this is what comes along with being so audacious and just outright outlandish with the things you're doing.
Yeah.
If Suki with the good or the sexy reds, they can't make a, ooh, ladies first. They can't make that.
Nah, it's over for that.
Because they know there's no money behind that anymore. And that's another thing too. You know what's so funny with hip hop? Hip hop is exactly where the other folks wanted it to be. It took them 50 years to get it here, but they got it right by the neck right now. Because what I've noticed is this: there's always been negativity in hip hop, but hip hop used to be the art form that was against the establishment. Yes. You see what I'm saying? Like, it spoke against government. It spoke, you can talk, it was always crime. It was always degrading of women and stuff like that. And I say this right, but there was a balance.
It was a balance.
There was a balance. Because Queen Latifah ain't never go to that side of it. First of all, her name is Queen Latifah. So some might say she boxed herself in for that. No, she wanted you to know, this is what I'm standing on. This is who I am. And that's cool. So for every Queen Latifah, this is why Queen Latifah doesn't have an issue with the little Kims of the world. Because she understood she's on that side of the spectrum. But even little Kim was still rapping. Eve, rapping. We get it. Women are beautiful.
Yes.
Women are here. They're not here to be sex objects, but they're beautiful. They're here to be adorned. They're here to be looked at, listened, also. We get it. That's part of it all. But when you go so far left on the spectrum because you're trying to be like, I'm going to do whatever I want, like you said, stand on it, because this is not going away.
Right.
Hip hop will do this, and I want you to go. Hip hop will also do this nowadays. If you notice, we come from the self-destruction age.
Right.
Self-destruction will never get made again. You know why self-destruction will never get made again? Because hip hop now will give you the disease, but they never give you the cure no more. We used to give the disease and the cure at the same time back in the 80s and 90s. Now it's all disease. Oh, you talking about killing each other? That's all we're gonna talk about. Oh, you talk about uplifting your race? We kind of already have these 3 guys over here trying to uplift their race. Yeah, but those guys aren't on the radio, but that's only 3 that we're going to allow to do that.
Well, it's media. You know what I mean? Yep. And it's the way that black people are portrayed in media. It's done that way on purpose. That's why I don't really kill the sexy reds of the world, because there is balance in art, in the art. There is not balance in the way black people are portrayed in media. So, yes, Sexy Red will shoot up the charts, sell all these records, and just be all over the place. But Rhapsody, you kind of have to go search for. You see what I'm saying? You gotta go, and one has extreme lyrical talent. The other is salacious and provocative and has talent, but it's definitely not lyrical talent. You see what I'm saying? So the media kind of portrays that, but it's all media and it's all mediums. It's not just hip hop. It's in film, in everything. Black people are portrayed as savages, and it's just not the case. It's just not the case in real life. So whenever money is involved, they're going to throw a lot of money. The other thing is, it's easier to control the market when you pay the people that aren't talented. So when the talent matters, it's only a select few that can break into the market.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So if I'm a company, I want you guys to like the stuff that's easy to make.
Yes.
Like, just say pussy and ass a bunch of times. You know what I mean? Rather than you like the stuff that has substance, that's art that will last the test of time. That's around. You see what I'm saying? It's here. You just gotta go looking for it. You know what I mean? It's just so hard to find. Now, whenever an artist breaks through that has talent, they last for a longer time. Like you said, some of these artists, their fame will last a year, 2, 3, 4. But the artists that have substance behind them and have the talent, they last the test of time. They'll be here for 10, 15 years, and then you'll be talking about them on, they get to have a greatest hits, not a greatest hit. You see what I'm saying?
Yep. This is becoming intrusive now because Jada, who is from Baltimore, she brought Big Willie down to Baltimore with her a couple of days ago, and they're at it again.
Yeah. So Will was wilding, man. Will said that he posed the question: have you had somebody that you're gonna love forever through anything? Through anything. And then he said Jada was his best friend, and he's gonna love her through anything, and he's gonna support her through anything till the day that he dies, no matter what she does. My question to you is he being a good husband, or is he just a simp?
Well, being as though Will Smith is still one of my top 3 people ever, I'm not going to call him a simp.
Okay.
Him being a good husband, that's subjective on what you consider good. But what I will say is this: it raises some eyebrows because their relationship has been tumultuous, to say the least. I don't know, and this is the last time I'm going to talk about it, but I don't know if there's been more good times than bad, because we always go to if the good outweighs the bad. That can work. That can go for any relationship at any level.
Right.
The problem that I'm having with Will's professing of his love and his support of his wife, because he's still his wife,
100%.
Regardless of her saying they've been separated.
Even though you took the Smith off.
Well, to me, she's still just Jada Pinkett. But, I wouldn't say it to Will, because he'd be like, that's Jada Pinkett Smith. And I don't want to get smacked, because I would hate to have to sue Will. Because that's exactly what's going to happen.
Nah, I wouldn't hate that.
I'm not swinging back. I'm dropping like it's Ali. Bap. I'm not Chris Rock. I don't have millions to fall back on.
Yeah.
He's going down for that. He's going to at least have to give me at least one movie's worth of money. 25 to 40 million. But anyway, I say all that to say, people like to keep talking about why and that's what I want to talk about for a second too. Why we in their business? Like, people in the media or not. Because this is the social media world that we live in nowadays. We don't know any of this if it's not reported to us. This is live tabloids now. Like back in the days, it was the Inquirer and all this. You stand on the lines in the supermarkets and you pick up those Inquirers, and they have stories of aliens and Bigfoot and all that stuff. They've scratched that, and now you put your stuff out there and say, basically, I'm going to put our information out there on our personal lives, and you don't get to say anything about it.
Shit.
Nas has a line on on one of his songs where he basically says, he was like, but what's the purpose? He pretty much was like, I'm stuck on the earth. I can't put this, even though I'm not God, it's pretty much was, I'm not God. And you tell me not to judge it because I'm not God. But I'm stuck down here with the people that's doing the stuff. Yeah. So what do you mean I can't judge it? Yeah. That's how I feel about celebrities and their personal lives. If you really don't want us to know, then don't say anything. Because we won't say anything.
But she really does want us to know, because she's selling the book, and more evident than now than ever, it's a collaborative effort between her and Will to sell this book. He's going to support her through it, and I think that the media has to stop kicking Jada's back in now, because Will has confirmed that that's mine, and I'm sticking with her no matter what. I believe that you can love somebody forever until the day that you die, but that has nothing to do with being with him at all. I think that you don't even choose who you fall in love with. That's why we call it fall in love. You don't step in love, you fall in love. But we choose who we continue to be with, or who we're with in the first place. And it just feels crazy to me how much Jada professes her admiration for Tupac more than she professes her admiration for her husband. And Will is just right there while she's doing it. That feels crazy to me. But it's their relationship, but it's always going to feel nuts to me. It feels crazy.
One thing about a relationship, regardless of how we feel, regardless of what we see, regardless on how anybody's going to perceive your relationship. We're not even talking about just Will and Jada. We're talking about Jim and Jay and whoever is in a relationship, because nobody can define it but you.
Right.
Nobody can define it but you. So the fact that nobody can ever define your relationship, people will always find a way to nitpick at your relationship.
Right.
If you put it out there for public consumption. If you don't, even if you don't, people are still going to say something. Right, that's the whole thing regardless. So I don't want to make it look like, well, I don't put my relationship on public consumption. And yet people talk about it. No. If people know you're together, they're going to look at any little thing. You walk down the street a little ahead of your partner. Oh, they're not even together. Look how he's walking ahead of her.
Right.
Or she's walking ahead of him. They're not holding hands. They're not looking at each other. It's going to be something regardless. So I want to close the chapter on it, me personally.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I said, hey, Will is there with his wife. Hey, man, can't kill Jada no more.
They might go another 7 years separated. And Will said he's already going to be there to the end of time. So that's that. But a friend of ours brought up a point about venting to women. Mm-hmm. Do you think women provide safe spaces when it comes to guys expressing their feelings? Because women always say they want a guy that could express his emotions and, talk their feelings out and how they are. And our friend said men get the ridicule part of it, and then the whole conversation becomes about how what they do make the women feel. Is there any truth to that?
Yeah, I think men need men.
What?
Not in
Hold on.
Not in a romantic way. I think men need men because our friends are who we can express how we really feel. I don't think that a man can be 100% honest in how he feels sometimes, because that may hurt the feelings of his partner, or that may raise up, like he said in the post, some insecurities, and now we talking about how what I said makes you feel instead of how I feel. You see what I'm saying? I don't think men can be honest to women about their attraction to other women. I don't think men can be honest to women about a lot of things. Men bottle up a lot of feelings, a lot of feelings around being scared, vulnerable, because we're the protector, right? So we can't be scared, you know what I mean, of things, you know what I mean? So I think men go around putting on a facade a lot, and I think that your friends, your male friends, are the ones that can really relate to some of the things that you have to do, you can let your guard down. That's why with man time, you can really talk candidly. You know what I mean? You can really speak candidly, especially when you have really good close friends. You can speak candidly about how you feel, and it's really, really less judgment, and you don't have to worry about hurting the person that you feel this way about. I think that in a lot of relationships, women hog the feelings space, the emotional space. Women hog that. Women take that up.
That's the thing. I believe you're talking about within relationships, because I have a lot of women friends that I straight can vent to and talk about everything you just talked about in terms of their attraction to other women and stuff like that. Now, I do believe, now I get in pause, men need men, but at the same time, you gotta have either a cousin, a sister, or just a good female friend that you can talk to, because it can't always be your partner, because you'll start describing things and talking about, I'm not gonna say talking to your partner about your attraction to women, but when you start doing things like that, it starts dancing on the line of their insecurities or not. Now, some women are, first off, everybody's insecure about something.
100%.
So I don't want to make it, I don't shoot women down and be like, well, y'all are so insecure, this, that, and the third. Because some of the most beautiful women are insecure. Some of the most handsome men be some of the ones that's the most insecure. But everybody's insecure about something. The whole point is having a safe space to just be unapologetically free with your thoughts, without judgment. But the thing about the judgment, why do we always search out not judgment? Because when we put it out there, it's there for somebody to judge the situation.
But I think that's the point. That's why we don't put it out there. Okay. It's why we don't put it out there. No, I can't say to my woman, like, yo, I had to get out of there because I would have fucked her. Like, I can't say that.
I would hope not.
But that's a real thing. That's a real feeling that you could have had. Like, yo, that was a close one. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't say a lot of things to your women. You can't say to your woman, I had to get us out of there because that nigga would have fucked me up. Like, your woman would look at you like, but the reality is that nigga was probably big as shit. Like, yo, I would have had to fight this nigga. I wasn't with that shit. I ain't got my gun with me, none of that shit. You see what I'm saying? You can't say these things to your women. But I could say that shit to my man. Like, yo, hey, we got the fuck up out of there. That nigga was huge. You know what I mean? Nigga would have been like, word?
Those are
nah, women.
Those are specific examples you're giving.
I'm just giving some examples. You see what I'm saying?
Kind of extreme a little bit.
How was that extreme?
Okay, you're not gonna go up to your woman and be like this. I had to get us up out of here because I was gonna knock that down. You shouldn't be talking to your woman, talk about, oh, this dude is too big, this, that, and the third. So, because personally, if I'm with my woman, I'm just going to get my ass whooped because I'm not saying that to her.
So, but it does come up because it's in some cases like, yo, why you home so early? Oh, I just had to come. I'm just coming home, yo. You know what I mean? You can't tell her the real reason.
Yeah, You asked me why I came home early. I gave you an answer. I got a little tired. That's it.
But that's what I mean. We can't share completely.
I don't think I'm saying that to a friend either.
Huh?
I'm silly. I might do something like that. Like what happened? Like I've been on the bus before and got stared at, and I'm looking like God, I'm looking away because I'm looking like I hope this nigga is not looking at me or whatever. And I'm looking. I remember
that's
one time.
Real, yo.
Like this, I'm gonna say it like this. I left Rucker one time because I thought Alpo was looking at me. Word up, me and my man. So, we at Rucker. I'm sitting on the bleachers side. Alpo's on the other side. This was first off. I was dumb young. You know what I'm saying? I was not even, I don't think, a teenager yet. So he had no reason to really be looking. This is in hindsight.
Right.
But at the time, I'm like this, and I look, so I turn my head because he's staring across. So I tapped my man. I was like, yo, I think this nigga Alpo is looking at us. So my man was like, why would Poe be looking at us like we kids? But he pretty much like, we kids. What does him looking at us do for him? So I said, I'm telling you, this nigga is looking. He looks. I said, don't stare. So he glimpsed. He said, oh shit, I think this nigga is looking at us. And so now we both standing there paranoid because we like, Alpo is looking at us.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. I said, yo, at halftime, everybody go on to the court. Let's just get the hell out of here. Halftime came. Everybody went on the court. I got my eyes on Alpo. He definitely started looking somewhere else, looking around, but we got up out of there.
So that's hilarious.
Yeah, that happened.
But the other thing is, you ever been trying to vent with a chick, your girl, whatever, and somehow she take over the vent and now she venting? Like that, I'll be thinking that women really do monopolize the emotional space. If I'm trying to get something off, or you ever been venting and then she just seems so disinterested, and then you just stop.
Yes, yes, that's a real thing. And the woman that I can't talk to like that ain't gonna probably be the woman that I can deal with. For real, because the minute I give undivided attention when a woman is venting to me, if I don't get that back, I ain't gonna lie, I got a problem with that. I'm talking about body language. If your body language is kind of you twiddling your thumbs, you kind of like looking at your phone and stuff, because to me, and I know some people are gonna be like, he's soft, he's simp, whatever. My thing is this, I don't do that to you, because clearly I probably can't even fix, maybe I can't even fix what your issue is.
Right.
But I'm going to be attentive to it. Because a lot of times you wanna be heard.
Yes.
You want it out of your system. So if I feel I'm putting this out of my system and I'm trying to talk to you and I'm making myself vulnerable, and your body language is kind of like, just get to the point. Oh, I'm gonna shut down. Not me.
I'm real.
Go ahead.
I'm real with mine. Sometimes women vent all the time, like every day, every single day.
Shit.
It's this.
Just something wrong with you.
This bitch pissed me off. I can't do this no more. I can't do that no more. And most of the time, I'm right there with you. Like, yeah, forget her. You know what? You should do this. But sometimes I'll be like, yep, yeah, it's the same shit she told me yesterday, and it's ongoing. And sometimes you just not there emotionally. So I don't kill women for not being there. Difference between me and a woman, or the women that I've dealt with, is they just keep going, whether I'm listening or not. Me, I'll just stop. Like, yo, she ain't into this shit.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? I'll just stop talking. Like, she ain't into this shit. But I understand that. I can empathize with that. Like, sometimes, hey man, if I had a long day, I don't want to hear how motherfucking Shirley cut in front of you at the microwave, nigga. Like, all right, cool, man.
So what you're saying is, so you're cool with her not being attentive when you're talking.
Sometimes. Like, I understand that sometimes you're not, because sometimes you don't care.
How about this? This is the whole thing, though. The reason why, I can't make you feel the way. We're just going to be different on this stance. This was my thing. You said something while you was talking in your diatribe.
Hey, and your diatribe.
I'm just saying. This is how I talk. I'm just saying. When you were talking, see, you wanted me to say little stuff like when you were talking. No, that's not how I talk. During your diatribe, you brought up how if somebody's constantly doing it and talking, you're not constantly venting to her. That's the difference. That's what I'm saying. I hear what you're saying and I agree with it to an extent. But if I'm not constantly coming to you, but you are constantly always venting to me and I'm always attentive, even though this is happening 7 days a week, it might have happened 5 times. I'm still gonna listen. So the one time that I do actually vent to you and you're not attentive, I 100% have a problem with that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I get that. I don't vent a lot, but you know, I'm a inner type of guy. You know
you're kind of you're kind of stoic with a lot of things that you do. You know, I get that. I'm on the road. My thing, so I'm just saying, I want people to know I got a real vocabulary. This is how I'm really talking.
Stoic, that's crazy. Yo, you gotta chill.
Somebody, I know they looking it up. All my words line up and they're going to mean exactly whatever the sentence was. So, because it's not too many times I get to say these words. So, you know, you throw them out there. But this was another great episode, Oshin's View. Continue to subscribe. We're going to keep putting out these hits and everything else. Just keep supporting. We're going to get there. Willie Negro, Oshin. Peace.
Peace.